In the midst of a blizzard, a baby is left abandoned by the roadside, with no one accompanying him. Jerome, a man on his way to work, happens to pass by the area and notices the baby, fair and adorable, dressed in expensive baby clothes. He assumes that the child must belong to a wealthy family. Without hesitation, he takes the baby home and entrusts him to his wife's care. The greedy man daydreams about the possibility of the boy's wealthy family coming to find him one day so that he can extort a large sum of money as a reward. But to their surprise, a decade has passed, and the baby has grown into a young teen, yet his birth parents have never shown up, and the foster father, Jerome, has never received the hefty reward. During these 10 years, the little boy has been living with his foster mother in a small house halfway up the hill in Chavanon. The mother never reveals to the boy his true identity and gives him the name Rémi. Rémi also cherishes his beloved cow named Rosette, their primary income source. Although poor, they have enjoyed a happy life. Until a stormy night, Jerome returns home to discover that his wife has secretly been taking care of the boy for the past decade. Enraged, the man decides that since there is no large reward, he might as well sell the boy for a few coins rather than let him stay and be a burden. So, without any concerns for the boy's well-being, Jerome randomly sells him to a stranger for just 30 cents. However, little does he realize that the boy is a true gem, a treasure beyond measure. Jerome earns his living by working in the quarry, a trade he has dedicated several decades to. However, one fateful day, a terrible accident occurs, leaving him seriously injured and unable to work as a stonemason anymore. Desperate for funds to cover his legal fees, he writes a letter to his wife, requesting 400 francs in hopes of obtaining compensation. Unfortunately, fate plays a cruel hand, as not only is Jerome injured, but he also squanders all their assets. With no option left, his wife reluctantly sells their primary source of income, their beloved cow. Even so, they are still not able to find the remedies. With a carefully planned scheme, Jerome deceives his wife into letting Rémi accompany him to the town hall to apply for assistance. Believing his words and being overjoyed, Rémi follows his foster father to the town. However, unbeknownst to Rémi, Jerome's hidden agenda is to abandon him at the orphanage and run away. Realizing that he is being taken to the orphanage, Rémi flees. Jerome insists, and the entire town gives chase until they find themselves in a bar. The commotion is interrupted by a traveling artist named Vitalis and his group, which includes a performing dog named Cappy and a monkey named Lovely Heart. Upon learning of Rémi's situation, Vitalis offers to temporarily take care of the boy by renting him for a year. Desperate for money, Jerome reluctantly agrees to the deal, though a wicked smile briefly crosses his face, knowing that he will benefit financially from Rémi's presence in Vitalis' troupe. Poor Rémi, helpless and unable to resist, is sent away by his foster father in front of everyone for just 30 cents. In order to prevent him from escaping, Vitalis tightly binds his hands with a belt, treating him like a captured animal. And so it goes. Rémi departs from his childhood home without the opportunity to bid farewell to his foster mother, who would have done anything to prevent the transaction. Rémi sets off on a journey along the roads of France. One night, he quietly unties the belt that binds his hand and attempts to escape, but Vitalis catches him. However, Vitalis explains to the boy that he is merely offering him a chance for a better life, as it turns out that they have crossed paths before. One evening, Vitalis overhears Rémi humming in the cottage and is immediately captivated by the young boy's voice. Vitalis proves to be a kind man, much better company than Jerome, and he teaches Rémi how to sing, play the harp, and read. Once Rémi learns to write, he begins sending letters to his foster mother, sharing details about his life on the road. Rémi also discovers that Vitalis was once a renowned violinist in his heyday. As time passes, Rémi gradually unleashes his full voice, and everyone is amazed by his dynamic and infectious singing. The duo also performs among the nobles. One day, they have the opportunity to perform on a small river ship for the owner's daughter's birthday celebration. It's during this event that Rémi meets Liz, the daughter. Lisa suffers from a rare condition called coxalgia, which confines her to a wheelchair. The two children quickly form a deep bond, and Lisa's mother is delighted that her daughter finally has someone to play with. However, the local police suddenly arrest Vitalis for making the animals perform, which goes against the city's laws. Vitalis is taken away, but Rémi continues to stay with Lisa. During Vitalis's absence in prison, Rémi becomes the main source of support for the ailing girl, and their friendship grows even stronger. Rémi also shares his backstory with Liz, showing her the blanket he was wrapped in when his foster father found him as an infant. Not willing to reveal his true identity because of blaming himself for his wife's and children's death, Vitalis is therefore put into a sentence for 2 months. One day, he finally returns, and Rémi rushes off the riverboat to hug him tightly. Vitalis is invited for lunch by Liz's mother, who expresses her desire to keep Rémi as a personal butler for her daughter. Upon hearing this, Vitalis understands that it would provide a stable life for Rémi, but he believes the little boy should have the opportunity to explore the world. He then tells Liz's mother that it's Rémi's choice whether to stay or leave with him. The comfortable and affluent lifestyle is indeed a great temptation, but Rémi deeply understands what he wants. As expected, Rémi decides to leave with his master, but bids farewell to Liz and promises to visit her soon. However, during his time in prison, the old man was kept with a fellow inmate who had tuberculosis, and unfortunately, he contracted the disease as well. His condition worsens, causing their journey to slow down, and they fail to reach a resting point before nightfall. It's the moment when tragedy strikes. The monkey seems to sense something and hastily climbs up a tree. When the two realize something is wrong and look back, they discover a pack of wolves has set their sights on them. The fierce and menacing wolves bare their sharp fangs, frightening them into a hasty escape. Fortunately, not far away, they spot a small cabin. In order to protect them, Cappy bravely charges at the wolf pack, buying them some time. Luckily, Cappy only suffers minor injuries. They spend the entire night hiding in the small cabin, venturing out the next morning to search for the little monkey. However, the monkey isn't as fortunate, as it endures a freezing night outside and is severely injured. Vitalis takes Rémi to stay at a hotel and spends their last remaining savings to bring the best doctor in town to treat the injured monkey. However, the situation is not optimistic, as the doctor informs them that the monkey doesn't have much time left to live. Seeing the way the old man has been coughing, the doctor suggests treatment immediately, or otherwise, he will risk himself. However, Vitalis keeps his illness a secret from Rémi, knowing that they lack the funds to pay for the room and treat the monkey. Moreover, he doesn't know who will care for the little boy and Cappy while he is absent. In order to assure the little boy, Vitalis decides to put on a show, hoping that the hotel guests will provide them with a reward. Later that evening, the old man slowly takes out his long-forgotten violin and unveils his exceptional talent at the hotel. Everyone, including Rémi, is stunned by him. He receives proud applause from the audience and manages to collect some money to treat the monkey and pay for the rental fee. As they are collecting their earnings, an elegant woman approaches them. She mentioned that his performance reminded her of a show she attended as a child, where a renowned violinist performed. Anxious and unsettled, Vitalis realizes that the woman might have recognized his true identity. He then hastily tells her he is merely a performer who has learned skills from famous individuals. Although the woman seems skeptical, she leaves a gold coin for them. Rémi is filled with excitement upon receiving the gold coin. He immediately rushes off to his room upstairs to show it to the monkey. Sadly, tragedy already strikes. The monkey has already succumbed to his illness. Filled with sorrow, the old man and Rémi find a place to bury the monkey. Back at the hotel, they receive a letter addressed to Rémi. It's a letter from Liz to inform him that her mother has identified the cloth from Rémi's blanket. The material is exclusive to a noble family in London. Her mother then sent letters to her friends, hoping to find Rémi's parents. A few weeks later, a barrister named James Milligan responds, stating that he knows Rémi's parents. Overjoyed, Rémi finishes reading the letter and wastes no time. He and Vitalis and Cappy set out to meet James Milligan. Soon after, they are seated in a meeting with the barrister. James examines Rémi's blanket cloth and confirms that he is indeed the child he has been searching for all the years. James also informs them that Rémi is the long-lost son of the Dorsal family. The barrister then takes them to Rémi's supposed family home. At the Dorsal residence, Rémi reunites with his parents, who are overjoyed to see him. Later, the Dorsals reveal that Rémi was taken away as an infant by a woman seeking revenge on them. It turns out that Mr. Dorsal had an affair with the woman, but when she discovered that he was married and his wife was expecting a child, she devised an evil plan to take away their baby. Vitalis, however, remains skeptical of the story, as he knows that Rémi's foster father had claimed to have seen a man leaving the infant in a basket, not a woman. Mr. Dorsal remains silent for a while, But James fills in the gaps, suggesting that the man could have been an accomplice. Vitalis and Remi then bid a bitter farewell to each other before James's carriage attends to Vitalis. The barrister provides Vitalis with some money for taking care of Remi all this time. Once his master is gone, Remi runs upstairs to his bed and weeps bitterly. In the middle of the night, Remi awakens to the sound of water dripping from the ceiling. He grabs a lantern and goes outside, discovering that it has started snowing. Remi looks around his new home, but everything feels off. He notices a cupboard and unlocks it to find something dreadful inside. There are gold-plated human teeth and numerous watches that have been stolen from others. Remi quickly realizes that the Dorsals aren't his real parents, and when he prepares to run away, Mrs. Dorsal arrives just in time to give him a nightmarish threat. Remi manages to escape to the front door, but he is stopped by James and his men. He tells them that the Dorsals aren't his family, but James already knows. He shoves the boy inside, and as he and his men wait outside for the job to be done, Mrs. Dorsal orders her husband to kill Remi. Just as Mr. Dorsal raises a hammer to slam the boy, Vitalis and his dog Cappy arrive just in time to save Remi. Cappy manages to grab Dorsal's son by his neck, and Vitalis incapacitates Mr. Dorsal and demands an explanation. It's then revealed that James Milligan is Remi's real uncle, who is due for an inheritance since Remi's biological father died. But when he found out that Remi was still alive, he didn't want to risk the inheritance, so he ordered the Dorsals to get rid of the child. However, this wasn't the first time James had ordered to kill Remi. 10 years ago, he was the same man who ordered that infant Remi be killed. But Mr. Dorsal couldn't kill an innocent child, so he left baby Remi at the church. Grabbing him by the neck, Vitalis demands to know about Remi's mother. Mr. Dorsal reluctantly reveals Mrs. Milligan's address. Vitalis and Remi quickly leave Dorsal's home to look for Remi's mother. But they still face a great challenge ahead when it starts to snow heavily, filling the road with snow to make things worse. Remi falls along the way. Vitalis manages to carry his little boy as he shields them through the snowstorm. That pair, along with Cappy, take a rest near a shed for the night, but Vitalis's health is also worsening. Remi wakes up the following morning, held tight in his master's arms. But when he tries to wake up Vitalis, he shows no sign of movement. Remi's wailing alerts some security guards nearby. The boy is lucky enough to be rescued, but faints into a coma due to the extreme weather. Sometime later, he opens his eyes to find himself tucked in a warm blanket. He looks around and sees a woman standing next to him. She asks about his health and informs him that Remi's master didn't survive. Devastated, Remi begins to weep once again, as his master is the only family he has left. The woman right in front of Remi is Mrs. Milligan, Remi's biological mother. Although she doesn't know that Remi is her son, James Milligan, who is also pressed, doesn't reveal the boy's identity and demands to take him away. Mrs. Milligan tells him that the boy can only be taken once he's back on his feet. Meanwhile, one of the servants goes through Remi's belongings and finds a paper. She shows it to Mrs. Milligan, and that's when Mrs. Milligan learns the truth about her son. Later, Remi wakes up and visits Mrs. Milligan, who confronts him about his past. The paper she found earlier had a song lyric that misses. Milligan's mother would sing to her as a child, and she would also sing it to Remi as a lullaby. It turns out that Remi had somehow engraved the song in his mind unconsciously and would sing it when he performed with his master and the True. Finally, the mother and son embrace with a tight hug. Decades pass, and Remi has become an elderly man in his ease. Though his music continues to enchant everyone who hears it, he decides not to pursue a career in music. Instead, he dedicates his life to running an orphanage, providing a loving home for homeless children. Just as vital as did for him, while Remi may have spent many years to find his birth parents, he considers himself fortunate to have had many cherished individuals boosted by him, creating a remarkable childhood and enabling him to share his life's journey with others.